Spoilers for episode 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race UK vs. the World. Follow .0000. This week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race UK vs. the World delivered shocking drama the likes of which we've rarely seen on the show before, as one of the strongest contestants in history bowed out early. Yes, a tearful Jimbo was given her marching orders and took them in improbable shoes, naturally, despite a weak effort from Jujubee, and some eyebrow-raising antics from Baga, and Drag Race fans online are not happy to say the least. But, outside opinions aside, here's our own, highly subjective, rankings for this week. 1. Pangina heels. With such questionable, if not borderline problematic material to work with, how passionately did Pangina sell Not So Little Orphan Annie? And with that breakneck speed lip sync, and to such an underrated song, plus her object art polka dot inspired look, Panji had the best Drag Race week in one note. Could the makeup be refined? Things turned sour when she sent Jimbo home over Juju, though. Was it tactical? Perhaps, and if so, fair enough. Jimbo was tactical last week. But we find this unlikely, given the loveliness Pangina emanates in confessionals. Incomprehensible elimination decisions? They happen, but point 2, Blue Hydrangea. There was more avant-garde brilliance from Blue, who had her best ever week and deserved to be in the top. Her makeup was flawless high art, and her velvety orange-blue ensemble, while flattering and premium looking, was also mind-bending and fantastical. She looked like a fictional creature from a beloved children's film. Elsewhere, she showed unmistakable talent in her parody of The Sound of Music's Julie Andrews, capturing the essence of character and actress while mixing in her own IP for good measure. She should be headed for the final, but are the judges guilty of overlooking her? 3. Jimbo, eliminated. A sickening departure, and not in a good way. Is it hyperbolic to apply the term controversial to a TV talent show? Probably, but here, it feels correct. Something about Jimbo's exit, after such an awesome start, doesn't add up and exposes the producer's tired lipstick provocation for the idiocy that it is. True, her crossbred Dorothy and Toto from the Wizard of Oz creation was baffling. But she smashed it with her futuristic fashionista look, and the way she posed it out. Her commitment, and that special measure of effort she puts into everything, is unrivaled. Then there was that exit line. I'll get you, RuPaul. And your little dog too. I mean, Michelle, you imagine queens struggling to come up with meme-worthy parting shots. Jimbo, we suspect, was reacting in the moment with wit and charm, like a true jockster. Please, drag gods, let this not be the last we see of Canada's finest. Point 4, Janie Jack. However chic and praised by the judges, Janie's runway look was surprisingly unremarkable, and that color. Confrontational. But she excelled in the challenge, taking on an impossible task. How do you send up the most garlanded actress of all time and hitting the sweet spot with an affectionate, and as Michelle put it, effortless Meryl Streep impression? We're bumping her down, however, because of her lip sync and neat and polished effort. It may have been, again, like last week, we're getting Eurovision vibes, but she was ultimately obscured by lip sync assassin Pangina. 5. Mo Hart. Essentially, Mo served up fierceness once again this week, with an elevated, Disney-tastic under-the-sea look and a plucky Rocky Horror Picture Show moment that suited her to perfection. That she took a nasty tumble before immediately styling it out, Anne Marie and Madonna at the Brits style, is no big deal. If anything, it'll only endear her to viewers more. But as with many a pro, Mo is evidently her own harshest critic. Her body language when she was being judged expressed premature defeat, her discomfort bleeding through the screen. Flanked by so many super talents, she can't afford such moments of profound self-doubt. 6. Baga chips. One woman with no self-doubt is our Baga, whose Ijif attitude ceased to be entertaining this week. Thank God she had her spoiled brat breakthrough towards the episode's end. Seeing BFF Jimbo given the boot will have shocked further sense into her, surely. She should, really, have been in the bottom, even if losing another UK queen at this point in the competition would have made a mockery of the show's format. If her safe status seems confusing, it's worth remembering judges don't see behind the scenes. One assumes. And on paper, her talent show performance was decent, and her hot pink Cheryl Hole-ready runway look, cute. Cuter than Juju's, anyway. 7. Jujubee. If we were ranking queens based on priceless reactions, Juju would be top. Her face when Mo snatched her wig was a picture. Otherwise, it was yet another disappointing week for this lovable drag legend, who seems to be collapsing under the weight of expectation. We didn't entirely agree with the judges' harsh feedback on her musical performance. It was fun, silly, effervescent, but they didn't go far enough critiquing that amateurish, overly simple runway look. The inflatable snakes looked about as flammable as the hair. And the tights. Unless she pulls it out the bag next week, Juju's days are surely numbered.
Just to feed, hoping and pray, hoping and pray. Just to feed, hoping and pray. I'm the strength, I'm the way that I'm